From dropping buckets too many to count to shattering records we thought were impossible to break, these guys took it to a whole new level in the past decade. Starting off with Kemba Walker, the man famous for celebrating his incredible three-pointer that never even went in.
Those two guards have been game changers tonight. Walker, long three. Trickled off. And the rebounder, Richardson.
The Charlotte Hornets guard went off for a franchise record 60 points in a game against the Philadelphia 76ers on the 17th of November 2018. Yeah, 60 points. Walker was on fire, outscoring all of his teammates combined in a 122-119 overtime loss. And he did so with some outrageous shooting.
Bacon just checked into the game for Batum. Kemba the step back on Muscala. He has been the shining light.
Including this three-pointer that gave the Hornets the lead in the third quarter.
His wife won't allow him to box anymore. It's Kemba Walker. Hornets take the lead. It's been a long time coming.
It was definitely one of the most significant moments in his NBA career, even though the result wasn't significant for the Hornets. At least James Harden didn't lose the game during his significant milestone. In a game against the Orlando Magic in late January 2018, Harden walked into the game knowing he had to step up with his team down a few key players. But probably even he didn't think he'd end up doing what he did. Harden became the first NBA player ever to score 60 points in a triple-double, helping the Rockets secure a 114-107 victory.
They won and they're shooting a really high percentage. Well, again,
still hanging right in. Harden is open, and he fired.
The game was a nail-biter. Tied at 107 with just under 4 minutes left, Harden took charge, scoring the next 6 points to give the Rockets a 113-107 lead with 45 seconds to go. He sealed his record-setting night with a dramatic step-back three-pointer, followed by a free throw after being fouled, bringing his total to 60 points.
Harden steps back, fires. Go! James Harden is the new scoring one-game champion for the Houston Rockets, and Calvin Murphy on his feet.
Damian Lillard seemed to have taken all that personally. In 2019 against the Brooklyn Nets, it was a night to remember for Lillard. Not so much for the Portland Trail Blazers, who fell to a 119-115 defeat. But let's not dwell too much on that. But the fact that Lillard dropped a career-high 60 points that night, although he'd later beat the record. Sorry, spoiler alert. Anyway, Lillard was on fire, hitting 19 of his 33 shots, draining 7 threes and sinking all 15 of his free throws.
Sense of how much Hassan Whiteside will clog the middle for the Trailblazers. Lillard, his three to start things off. Portland on top.
In more ways than one, it was a franchise record, the highest scoring game of the season.
He's able to get really agile, high motor, third in the league in field goal percentage of 63.5%.
Dame did a great shot. Scout, solid screen setter, springs Dame one-on-one on him.
Jared Allen averages 1.3 blocks a game. He's very long.
16 a game. Dame operating. Deep jumper over Nwaba is good. A mid-range. And the Blazers pulled it within 2.
Dang, those Nets didn't stand a chance. And neither did the Indiana Pacers at number 7. Just when they thought they would extend their winning streak, Klay came out and said, "Allow me to have this dance."
Klay corner three, 60!
In just 29 minutes, Klay put up 60 points. Klay never stopped shooting, and honestly, it could have been more. It was point after point after point for Klay until he pulled out towards the end of the third quarter, probably in consideration for the Pacers, who couldn't keep up the pace. Even Steph was struggling to keep up with the celebrations.
Took it from Monte. Klay went to the three-point line and dropped in another one. And the bench is going nuts.
Okay, enough of that. It was the highest scoring game by a Warriors player in over 42 years. It's hard not to wonder what he could have done if he had played the entire game. Maybe 80 points? Questions you ask when you are that good. Speaking of which, the Black Mamba was so good that saying goodbye to the NBA seemed like yesterday. In his final game in the NBA, Kobe Bryant went out in true Hollywood fashion on the Utah Jazz. Despite the Lakers having a miserable season, Kobe carried them to a thrilling 101-96 comeback win. He scored an unbelievable 60 points, a fitting end to his legendary 20-year career. In classic Kobe style, he dropped 23 points in the fourth quarter alone and turned a 15-point deficit into a win. It was messy, ridiculous, and magical. Everything you would expect from the Black Mamba.
With half a minute to play, Bryant for the lead! Yes! Kobe Bryant gives the Lakers the lead!
With less than a minute left, the crowd watched as Kobe signed off in style.
Final minute 30. Bryant from 14 has 53.
The perfect ending. But we are certainly not done yet. Hats off if you made it this far. And still to come, a player so good that he broke a scoring record twice, and a beast who scored more than half of his entire team's points, putting the opponent to bed. But first, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications because we are entering our top 5. LeBron James, the King. Of course, he just had to be included. The King wasn't just playing basketball. He was putting on a one-man show in 2014 when the Miami Heat faced off against the Charlotte Bobcats. The points just kept coming and coming and coming until he finished with 61 points, which wasn't just a career high, but also a franchise record. LeBron was on fire, hitting shots from every corner of the court.
Gets a squeeze from Anderson, deep three, number 8!
The record-breaking layup came with 5:46 left in the game, as LeBron spun through defenders like a tornado and scored while falling to the court.
Neal's ready to come in and double team.
Coach Eric Spoelstra almost made a big mistake by considering taking LeBron out after the third quarter. Can you imagine? Thank goodness he didn't, because LeBron was in the zone. Damian Lillard was also in the zone. Dame Time has a knack for setting records and then breaking them himself. In the Portland Trail Blazers' 129-124 overtime win against the Golden State Warriors, he went off for a franchise record 61 points. Guess who was the previous record holder? None other than Lillard himself, with a 60-point game earlier in the season against the Brooklyn Nets. Lillard wasn't just about scoring that night. He also set a team record with 11 three-pointers. Plus, he became the first player in NBA history to score 60-plus points with 10-plus three-pointers in a game.
Rebound Horford, out to Lillard, 3!
I guess if you are Damian Lillard, one time won't just cut it. Fast forward to the NBA bubble on the 11th of August 2020, and Dame Time struck again. Lillard tied his career high with another 61-point performance, this time leading the Blazers to a 134-131 victory over the Dallas Mavericks. His shooting was nothing short of spectacular, hitting from well beyond the arc, driving to the basket, and knocking down mid-range jumpers.
Get fouled, knock down threes, 7-footer.
Lillard lunging 3 for Damian Lillard.
A true champ. But now that we've reached our top 3 craziest performances, it's time to go from memorable performances to performances that will stand the test of time. Because in 2019, James Harden put on 2 spectacular shows that left defenders scrambling. First up was in Madison Square Garden, where Harden dropped a career-high 61 points, tying Kobe Bryant's record for the most points scored by a visiting player in the current MSG. Harden was clearly in his element.
One-on-one here with Moutier. Harden steps right, contested 3, got it, and 1.
The Rockets needed every one of those points to eke out a 114-110 win over the New York Knicks. The game was a nail-biter. Just 2 months later in March, Harden matched his career high of 61 points against the San Antonio Spurs. This time, he was even more efficient, scoring 27 points in the first quarter alone and going on a late-game tear to lift the Rockets to a 111-105 win. Despite efforts from the Spurs, Harden wouldn't let the Rockets lose. He scored 13 straight points in a decisive run, including 3 straight three-pointers and 2 tough jumpers.
Harden sets, fires, boom! James Harden
It's one of those Harden moments that just makes you wonder if he's often overlooked as one of the greatest scorers in the league. Coming in at number 2, we have a player whose NBA career was clouded by uncertainties. Carmelo Anthony. The current Melo has disappeared from the league, but the Melo of previous years was something else. In a game against the Charlotte Bobcats in 2014, it always has to be Charlotte, right? Melo went supernova, dropping a jaw-dropping 62 points to set a new Knicks franchise and Madison Square Garden single-game scoring record. From the get-go, Melo was in the zone, jab-stepping his way to jumpers just 20 seconds into the game.
So impressive they look together. Obviously some different personnel. Anthony's three, that's good.
By the end of the first quarter, he already had 20 points, and by halftime, he had a staggering 37. The crowd could feel it too. When Melo launched the shot from the center court logo to end the first half, everyone just knew it was going in.
Anthony's going to try and get one more shot off going out front of the buzzer. Oh, he puts it in from half court.
As if that wasn't enough, Melo kept pouring it on in the second half and eventually broke the franchise record. Honestly, it could have easily reached 70 points if he'd been given the chance, but Coach Mike Woodson decided to pull him out so the crowd could give him the ovation he deserved. Finally, we've got a well-deserved moment involving a then 20-year-old who joined an elite group. Back in 2017, Devin Booker scored not 20, not 30, not 50, not even 60, but 70 points against the Boston Celtics. The Suns, who were already having a tough season, couldn't keep up with the Celtics, who won 130-120. But Book wouldn't be denied his moment. He exploded in the second half, scoring 51 points after halftime, including 28 in the final period.
61 points, 42
Bye-bye.
and a half. Here we go.
Bye-bye. Unbelievable. So now he broke your...
As Booker's total climbed, he started getting cheers from some Boston fans. And why not? When you sink threes effortlessly.
By Ulis from behind. Dudley, former Boston College star, been around the league forever. And there's the ring. Leonard trying to cut to the basket. Ulis picks off the errant pass. Gets it quickly to Booker. Pull-up three by Booker, and he knocks it down.
It was certainly one for the books for Devin Booker. And it's certainly a fitting way to end this video. Be sure to subscribe for more videos like this. And so you're not left out, click this video on your screen now.